Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is an M8A1, otherwise known as a Scott. It's a Tier 4 American turreted tank destroyer. It's located on the southwest spawn of Karelia, and it's under the command of General Disturbance. Yes, it's one of my games, one I played actually last night. And it's interesting for what actually happens right at the end of the game. Well, the Scott, it's a very small tank made on the same design as the M5 Stuart. Basically, it's a tank destroyer of sorts with a small gun. In fact, this one is only carrying the 57mm, which has got 75 alpha and penetration of 110mm with standard ammo, and with the APCR it goes up to 180mm. So it's quite decent as a tank destroyer. Now, I did see a tree go down in the distance, but no enemy in sight. I'm just checking to see that I'm fully concealed. I am. I did knock a tree down in doing so, but I'm not so sure any of the enemies saw me, and my sixth sense hasn't gone off, so nobody is aware. There's the opposition, the enemy M8A1. Now, from this range, I can easily fire at him because it's not me that's spotting him, it's the T28. Therefore, he can't see me. I'm outside his range. Well, that last shot probably hit the target, but those ones hit the ground. And that one probably hit the target as well, but those ones are falling short. Okay, so I've just used standard AP, and I see the T40 going for the top of his turret. I think he's still there, so I'm just going to keep firing until I know different. And okay, well, I saw a Panzer III Aslains J moving, or I should say Panzer III Mark III moving up behind that rock near where the T40 was. There's also a Keyhole who's in grid square A3. Now I suspect that Keyhole's gone round the northwest corner, and I can see the Panzer IIIJ is moving up. I'm expecting him to come around the corner. Either that or he'll try to get close to me. I suspect he knows that I'm here because obviously he could tell that his teammates were getting hit. And so I do wonder if he's trying to look for me. No sign yet though. Looking around for the other tanks that are in the field of fire. Still going back to that corner though. I've been joined by a Stug 3B who's come up from behind me. And there's the T40, and he's missing a huge amount of hit points, so some of my blind shots probably hit the target. Because he's now down to just 26% of his health. So it does pay sometimes to fire blind shots in anticipation of actually hitting the enemy. I can't see an outline to that Panzer IIIJ, so I'm just letting him move away. But there's the T40, and he has taken some damage. I missed with my first round, but don't miss with the second. And I've got my first kill. Now the Keyhole is the next problem really, because I'm not going to see him come through that pass because that rock's in the way. And I could move to the rock and sit there, and I would be in cover if I did so. But I wouldn't be able to see anyone ahead of me if I did. Once I'm behind that rock, I'm basically cancelling all forward observation of the enemy. And at this moment, I'm sort of like the left-hand shield of the marsh. The Panzer IIIJ is right down the middle. The Matilda's on the right side of the marsh. I'm on the left with the Stug 3B. And I'm expecting that Keyhole to come flying around that corner looking for us. And you know what they always say? Something always happens to distract you just when the enemy actually gets into position. Well, that distraction is going to come. Not yet. Being very careful to stay here. I don't mind waiting. Obviously, as a tank destroyer, I'm anticipating the enemy turning up so I can ambush them. But suddenly a T6 medium comes into sight. He's going up the ramp towards the horseshoe, and he's got a Stug 3B with him. So I'm turning my turret round, but it's a very slow turret rotation on the M8. First shot ricochets off the T6 and I critically damage the Stug. A bit too high with that shot. Fire another one in, and suddenly the Keyhole appears out of nowhere. Fires one round into me, gets a second round in, and I've lost 145 hit points and my radio operator. So pop round the corner, the Keyhole's gone into cover behind the rock. Okay, so I know there's a Keyhole behind that rock now. My teammates are firing at him. We've lost the Stug 3B. We're 3 tanks down on the enemy now. I've got to get rid of that guy as quickly as I can, and the easiest way to do that is to force him out, flush him out, come in behind him, shoot him. He's obviously facing towards our cap, and he's not going to anticipate somebody coming up behind him, and yes, he didn't. He wasn't even looking in this direction. He was looking at our Arty, and I'm just going to chase him out and chase him down until I catch him. And he stops, and I ram kill him. Now, it did cost me my track, so I had to burn my repair kit, but I got the kill, got rid of the Keyhole. Well, we're still 3 tanks down on the enemy. And although I was thinking of actually going up to the northwest corner of the map and dealing with that, I suddenly realised the enemy is actually getting quite close to our cap, and we are down on the enemy. So what I'm going to have to do is get back to the cap and try and help the defence. Now the SU-5 you see there, the guy that the Keyhole was looking at, is headed towards our cap, the enemy cap rather, and he's missing half his hit points. So obviously the Keyhole did fire at him and get shots into him. Now obviously I'm going to try and come in and get to a position of advantage overlooking these tanks, and I thought, well, the best place to do that would be from up here, right next to the cap, and then I'm looking down on them as they're fighting. Okay, first target comes into sight as a Panzer 3J. I think that's the same Panzer 3J we saw earlier in the game. Yeah, he's just taking the damage. He's been tracked, and he's a one-shot, and there's the kill. Okay, Matilda's in sight. There's a Hetzer. There's the Matilda. My shells aren't going through, so I switched to APCR. Unfortunately, I didn't get any hit there because he went behind the rock. So I'm going to have to change position if I'm going to get some more damage on that guy. Unfortunately, the Matilda just took out our Matilda, who was very low on hit points, and we're now just 1 tank down on the enemy. I'm going to focus on the Hetzer first. Still firing the APCR. He's out the game. So that's my 4th kill. Go for the Matilda, but he's firing at me, so I have to move back into cover, otherwise I'm going to lose my life with the next shot. So I'm going to change position just slightly, get behind this bush. He can't see me. I can't see him, so I'm going to have to move a bit closer if I'm going to see him. I've got a Panzer 3J for company. Can't see him, so I'm going to have to change position again. See if I can catch him as he's retreating. I've got binos, so I should be able to see him. I'm going to have to get closer still. So I'm going to go to this bush here. Panzer 3J's helping me. There's the Matilda. Only 3 rounds of APCR left. So that one ricocheted off. That's a pen. I'm firing standard AP now, and they're bouncing, but I'm still trying to go for the weak spots. Trying to go for the driver's port. Unfortunately, just not getting it. And the Panzer 3J goes in to try and face hug him, which is the worst thing you can do, and that's blocking my shots at the enemy. And I'm sure the Panzer 3J is going to die. Yes, he did. Unfortunately, he was a bit inexperienced and didn't realise that, yes, he was actually blocking my shots and making it more difficult for me to kill the tank. But there goes the Matilda. And that was my 5th kill. The SU-5 in the meantime has managed to make it to the enemy cap and he started capping. So I actually figured that the quickest and the easiest way to find the last remaining enemies of Valentine AT and their Panzer Selbstfahrerfährte 4B will be to actually go through the southern pass and up this way, because I'm pretty sure that one of them is probably on this route, because the SU-5 didn't come across them when he was going up the northern route. And I decided going down the dip here would probably be safer, because if I am going to come across them, at least I'll have a chance. Oh, and I found the house Shrek, and he found me. Yep, Arty gets a direct hit on me with his 105mm gun, and I am out of the game. So, unfortunately, that means that now the SU-5 is all alone. And there's my wreck burning. But I do switch over to the SU-5, who's still in the cap, and he's still capping. But it also means that the enemy Arty is still alive. So is that Valentine AT, but we don't know where he is. Now, I suspect that the Valentine AT actually was trying to make it to our cap, but he just left it too late. And because he's so slow, he couldn't make it back. And so with a few seconds left, the SU-5 is moving about within the cap to avoid being hit by and reset. And he's managed to cap out to win. And so the Arty saves the day. And I really shouldn't have gone for that 6th kill. I was just too eager to kill the Arty, and that was my big mistake. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, it's only a first class tanker for myself, but I did manage to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. I got 5, a sharpshooter for getting 10 or more consecutive shots on the enemy, a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged me, a fire effect for doing more damage than the hit points for my own vehicle, and a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. I managed to get 12 in total. I also managed to pick up a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and my win rate from the battle was 10,605, which is very satisfactory, Super Unicum standard. And this is the second time I've had a very high win rate from the M8A1 recently. I actually managed to do another battle recently, which I haven't recorded, and I got a very high win rate on that one as well. Let's have a look at the team score. You can see that the highest damage I managed to get was 1,907 hit points of damage. And the next high scorer was in fact the Panzer Selbstfahrerfährte 4B, the one who killed me. He got 995. And after that, it was the M8A1. Oh no, it wasn't actually. It was the Matilda. Sorry, the Matilda I killed. And they got 888 hit points. When it came to kills, again, I got the highest number on this one with 5 kills. 3 kills to the Panzer Selbstfahrerfährte and 2 kills to the M5A1 Stuart, the Matilda on the enemy team, the Hetzer and their Stug 3B. And when it came to base XP, yes, I got the top on that one as well. So I got the top in all 3 columns. And then 495 went to the M5A1 Stuart and 441 went to the Largo. And the SU-5 didn't do too badly. He only got 76 hit points of damage. But as you saw, he's actually got one of the stock guns. So it's very difficult for him to get shots on the enemy because he's got a very short range. And his his XP from that battle was 170, which is really okay. But he won the battle. He got an Invader medal for capping out, getting at least 80 cap points in the process. I fired 53 shots in that game, got 39 direct hits, 28 penetrations, damage of 1,907 hit points, of which 1,121 were at more than 300 meters. I received 4 hits from the enemy. All 4 were penetrations, I'm afraid. The armor on this vehicle is not very strong. And I also got 1 hit by way of splash damage. That was the shot by the house Shrek, which actually took me out altogether. 1 enemy vehicle was spotted. That was the Arty. 7 enemy vehicles were damaged, 5 were killed, and 63 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium count, I earned 26,600 credits. But after repair and ammunition resupply, I actually made a loss from the game of 4,967 credits because I fired all that APCR. 50 bonds received from the battle and 1,143 XP times 2 for the first victory took away 2,286 experience points altogether. I actually said that the RT received a Raider Invader. Actually, they didn't get the Raider one because they were spotted by the Keyhole. The Invader medal, though, he did get. That was absolutely certain. At the time, I thought that he got the Raider Invader combination, but I thought it would be a good game to show that Arty can save the day if they cap at the other end, force the enemy to come back, and well, I was rushing to try and A, find the enemy, and B, try and take them out before the SU5 got discovered in the cap area. But I was very pleased when he managed to cap out, he got a medal, I got a medal, and we won the game. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel please, and thanks for watching.